one of my favorite topics, stocks, especially for here in Nigeria. Let's take a look at the NGX as of yesterday, opening the new year on fire. 2 straight bullish days, 846 billion naira gain for investors as of yesterday. The 4-day hot streak, when we count the last couple trading days of 2023 to go into 2024. So far this year, the market up by 3.7% as at yesterday. Trading, of course, has already begun for today. We'll take a look at some more, particularly, I think, the Naira. And we have to talk about how the Naira is depreciated at the autonomous foreign exchange market. 1,035 is what it closed at yesterday. And if we come back to the NGX, as far as how well it performed in 2023, 45.9%. You can approximate to 46 if you want. And looking at the sectors, particularly notable sectors yesterday that did well, banking stocks. If you're religious, that 666 number may make you worry, but still 6.66%. Consumers 2.4%. Oil and gas industrials doing well. Who better to discuss this with us than Muktar Mohammed, investment banker, financial analyst, CEO of Finance with Muktar. Happy New Year to you, sir.
Happy New Year, Rutos.
And you're a January baby, so happy birthday to you. 1st of January, yeah?
1st of January. And the rally started on the 2nd.
And the rally was because of your birthday. So
yes,
you're welcome.
Birthday rally.
Exactly. So look, what do you make of this hot streak we've seen with the markets?
Well, I think it's not surprising. Like I said before the round, I said there's still value in those stocks. When you look at PE ratio, you look at dividend yield, you look at capital appreciation, you look at profit before tax, there's still a lot of value in some of these equities, especially the banking stock. Then when you put buy and buy recapitalization, which will start getting details from the CBN anytime from now. So it shows that that is a sector that is going to move the market this year. The consumer goods sector so is going to be an exciting sector because according to the president broadcasting 1st of January, we start having living wage. So when we have living wage, that sector will boom, and that's consumer this thing. Also, we think the exchange rate will stabilize this year, so that could drive in foreign direct investors into the market. So there's a lot of things that are working and looking up. And again, I think the bullish one you saw in the banking sector, even if you have made it to the religious 6.66 side, it had to do with, just yesterday, for the first time, we are seeing UBA, we are seeing Zenith Bank, we are seeing Access Bank, saying, look, our stocks are going to be on, if you are related with us, if you are a staff, we are having our board meetings, and one of those things we will be discussing is payment of dividends. And so investors are already saying, wow, if that happens, that means by end of February or March, depending on the regulators finalizing those results, we could start collecting our dividend. And not a better time to have liquid in your hands when you think the economy is going through some ups and downs.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of ups and downs, I've been wanting to ask you this. Do you, for those who are watching, because I talked to a lot of folks, even our colleagues a lot here, about buying stocks. Do you buy stocks when in a bull run as stocks are rising? What's the strategy there? Or should you wait to the
strategy always depends on what you want to do. Yeah. If you're an investor, you buy stock whether it's bullish or bearish.
Okay.
If you're a trader, you buy stock when it's bearish and you sell when you're bullish. So it depends on what you want to do. Traders, if you're speculators, whether bullish, whether bearish, you look at highly stocks that have not really gone up, then you buy them, and when they go up, then you sell them. So you're a speculator. So depend on which side you're. If you're investors, and despite the bullish or the bearish run, you do value investment. Yeah. You look at investment that fundamentals are strong. When we are a trader, whether bullish or bearish, you look at stock that still have potential for more bullish runs, and then you step in there. But when you're a speculator, you always look at the price. What price will I go in, and what price do you think our fight can go? So it depends on which side of the device you are.
Okay, I want to ask you about the exchange rates. You did mention that hopefully the exchange rate should stabilize this year. But if we look at where it closed yesterday on the NAFEM, now it's at 1,000. Does that make does that weaker currency make stocks more attractive for foreign investors in your view?
No. For foreign investors, it could be difficult for them because, like I said, the naira is not adequately priced. It's underpriced at the moment. So if you are coming in at 1,000 and you're not sure you exit at 1,000, you won't want to come for foreign investors. So definitely it's not exciting for them. The only time you start having the foreign investors in the market is when the market are really stabilized, when they know that, okay, the exchange rate for the next 1 year, for the next 2 years, will be stable. Then they will start coming. And definitely we could see that happen in the second quarter of this year based on all the permutations through the budget, through the revenue, through the sales of assets and everything in dollars. So those could work in the coming months.
Okay, I do want to ask you about this 45.9% return that we saw in 2023. Muktar, was in Naira terms. At the same time, you have an NGX up 45% in a year. Your Naira depreciates by 40%, so in dollar terms, this 45.9 is not really how do you, can you celebrate a 45.9% return on a stock market where the currency falls by 40%?
Great, and I like that, and that shows that the stock market was the only one that beat inflation. Remember, inflation was 30%,
right?
Gravity 10%, so we have 49%. So you have beat inflation if you invested in stock market by 19%. Fantastic. Now depreciation 40%. So what it means that if you were holding a Naira asset, you gain Naira asset by 9% over the dollar.
Right.
Then if you are keeping dollar assets, then you didn't invest again. Inflation in America today is about 5%. So if you have changed your Naira to dollar, you would have still been better off with the Naira by the time you go back to the dollar because you would have made appreciation of 9%. So it depends on which variation. Like we always say, you don't spend Naira here, you don't spend dollar here, you spend Naira.
Right.
And the only time that your Naira tends to make sense for you is when you moved it from the dollar back to Naira. Then you said, oh, I really gained instead of, because if you look at the dollar movement via other currency, it has not been that fantastic.
Right.
And if you look at inflation in America via the dollar, so if you have the dollar in Nigeria, then you have invested your dollar in the capital market and the inflation have gone by 9%, and inflation in America is 3%. So relatively you have gotten about 6% increase in your dollar if you change it to Naira and invest in Naira assets. Now, can you get a 6% return in America when you're investing in a dollar asset or in that? It is very, very difficult.
Right, gotcha. Okay, I like that robust answer there. Sectors, if we look at some of the sector returns for yesterday, banks in particular, industrials, oil and gas consumers. Also, I like asking you about the sectors. So starting with the banks, I think you mentioned UBA, Access, and so on and so forth. You like banks as we move forward in 2024?
Always.
Yeah.
Liquid. Always. They are the most liquid stocks you can get around. Sell it when you want to sell. Entering and exit is fantastic. Always available buyers. In 2024, will we get the kind of percentage increment we saw in a stock like Asset Bank has moved over by 150%. Start the year last year at about 7 Naira. Close the year about 23 Naira 50 kobo. Start the year now at 26 Naira 90 kobo. So will we get that kind of, it will take a lot to get those kind of rises again. But again, you never can tell. Remember that some of these banks also have offshore assets that their numbers comes in and sometimes add up. Zenith Bank still a lot of potentials. GTCO still a lot of potential when you compare them with Stanbic IBTC, which is already at 60 Naira. So, and then you look at what they are paying, what Stanbic is paying, what the profit they are making, what Stanbic is making, you say there's still room for more movement. Access Bank, room for more movement. If you look at where UBA is now, UBA is hitting the 30 Naira mark. Access is still in the 26. So still potential in that space. The other stock, GTCO, the same thing. But you look at First Bank, you say, where further can it go? Will the crisis continue? Will the giant keep on trying to mop up the share, cause price to go up? Remember, at the start, they were higher than Access. Access has overtaken them now. So then one bank you need to look at for is a tier 2 bank. Two tier 2 bank I think investors should look at for. FCMB and Fidelity Bank. I think those banks will be the big mover in 2024. Okay. Then you talk about the consumer goods sector.
Yes, consumers.
Like I said, living wage is coming. So we've not had it so good last year. So that sector has been dragging because consumers are not able to buy all they have to buy. Then we had the Naira issue that started the year with Naira shortage and everything. It affected that space. I hope this year, I think it will not be as bad as it is. Exchange rate will stable, so some of them, the numbers will be good, and then a lot of Nigerians will begin to patronize that space, so it will be great. Oil and gas sector, with the coming out of Dangote refinery, with the coming out of NNPC, Nigerian Limited, also, hopefully they will come to the market. Hopefully before the end of the year, we get Dangote come to the market also. There could be a snowball effect in other stocks that are there, like Seplat and others. So we could see some movement in that space too. Industrials, well, that's always a sector that would definitely move because the government is looking at more housing, more roads network, and these days our roads are not being done with bitumen any longer. You see the cement, the government is trying to make it last longer. So that sector, and the Minister for Works has said that's what he will solely be putting priority on that. So that sector too is also good to look at, but depending on which sectors you are going to, food sectors, you need to not go your hard. Boa Food could do good this year also. Then you have to not to forget that Dangote Sugar, Dangote Salt, NASCOM, will be merging together.
Yeah.
So that is not a stock to get your eyes off it also. And Dangote brand itself will be bringing all the Dangote brand to the market and putting them under Dangote Food. And when you look at that with the numbers they've been giving thus far, that's a stock also investors should be looking at for.
Healthy, robust there. Thank you. Our gallery always gets excited when you're here. I've been asked to ask you about Multiverse. This is a mining and exploration stock, and I'll be honest, I haven't really looked at this sector. Dele Alake, the mining minister for mines and steel, says that there's going to be more activity in mining, but this is a sector that has been hit by smuggling and so many other things. The stock is up, I think, for last year, 1 year return is 464%. It closed, I think, at 24 naira 70 kobo. No, sorry, it's closed at, as of 3 minutes ago, at 24 naira 70. Do you look at any mining stocks?
No, not really, because we don't even know where we are in the mining. I mean, we have illegal mining all over. We have insecurity all over. The minings are normal in the northeast of Nigeria. We don't have some mining activities in the southwest or in the south-south, so where there's relatively a little bit of security. So you're talking about mining, you're talking about going to the north central, going to the northeast, and that side has been very volatile. And what we've seen in those spaces are illegal mining. And how are we going to fight illegal mining? I think for us to begin to get value in the mining sector, we first of all need to give the license to the right people, and then we bring security there and we stop illegal mining. And that is when you can say the mining sector will tick. Remember, Japan says Japan Gold, they also will be going into mining too. Yeah. That has helped their stock grow over 700% last year. So hopefully when the license start coming, the minister have said that they will revoke a lot of licenses, and then they will now streamline those people that are really going to be into mining. And then I think the major challenge in the mining sector still remains insecurity. How are we going to get the bandits from stop doing this illegal mining? How are we going to get people, the right people, to go in there, continue to mine, and then bring those results? There are sectors that can be drivers in the Nigerian economy. The oil and gas sector has been doing that for a long time, but you've never really seen their big presence in the Nigerian exchange. So when you see that presence comes in, that's what I said, when Dangote or NNPC comes in, that shows that that sector will buoy. And when you talk about the mining sector, if that happens and Multivite and Japo are there, definitely there will be gains in that sector. But we need to watch and see what the government is going to do as far as mining. Remember, the minister has already complained his budget has been slashed.
Right.
So,
Muktar Mohammed, it's always a pleasure having you on to talk about stocks. You get us excited. So we're going to see how things work out this year. Muktar Mohammed, CEO of Finance with Muktar, thank you so much for joining us.
Always.